Well, good day, viewers. Today we have a 2015 Dodge Ram 2500. It's got the Ecodiesel, and it's here because it has a noise in the engine under a light load. I'll see if we can hear it. I also noticed the check engine light is on. Like an induction noise. I'm not sure if the video is picking up the sound. Serpentine belt driven noise. I'm going to scan it to see why the check engine light is on in case it's related. And I'm also going to see if I can control the RPM with the scan tool to get the noise present, so I can, because this is obviously drive-by-wire throttle and I can't be in the cab on the gas pedal and operating or listening for the noise with the stethoscope. So this is a new vehicle record. It should auto ID. 280,000 kilometers. Display fitted systems. And let's do a network code scan. I believe I can do this key on engine running. Engine oil temperature circuit high, intake manifold runner position sensor, intake manifold runner performance. Well, that could be related. If the intake runner is out of position, it could be creating an induction noise because of it. Particulate matter sensor circuit, cold start intake manifold runner performance, park by wire and intended out of park position stored. Left front fog light, mirrors, tire pressure sensor. I see one of the tire pressure is not reading. Intake manifold runner performance. So we're going to investigate these related codes in the engine control computer. So these are all stored codes, except this one here is pending and stored, and this one's active, pending and stored. So that one is a higher priority in my opinion. P2D2E. P2D2E. Failure code 00. So I'm going to do some research. So doing a keyword search for the P2D2E code turns up nothing. No troubleshooting information whatsoever. The 200B code, there are no cases on it, but there's intake manifold runner performance diagnosis and testing, and also P2021 turns up basically the same thing. Intake manifold runner position sensor circuit. So I'm going to do some reading on how this thing works. I suspect if there is improper airflow through the intake manifold, because it's kind of an induction noise. PCM uses P2D2D monitor when the intake manifold runner performance occurring during the RHU mode. What's RHU? Oh, rapid heat up, standard heat up, and rapid heat up. Intake manifold swirl valve actuator is located inside the intake manifold. The intake manifold actuator is not accessible without removing the intake. There is a short jumper harness from the actuator that can be accessed for performing checks of the main actuator harness. The actuator is used to simultaneously position two flaps shafts, one for each bank. Each ISV flap shaft has 3 valves, one for each cylinder. The ISV actuator supplied 12 volts by the ASD circuit and controlled by the powertrain control module using the Swirl valve control circuit, which is pulse width modulated. There are also two ISV position sensors which are separate from the ISV actuator. They are mounted at opposite ends of bank 1 and bank 2 IS valves, flaps, shafts. The three position sensors are monitored by the PCM over the position sensor 1 and position sensor 2. The swirl valves are used to create turbulence in the air entering the combustion chamber, which helps to reduce emissions. Oh joy. Perform several ignition cycles, turning, use a scan tool to actually in. So I'm going to do some more reading. So I'm in the bidirectional control for the intake swirl valve actuator, and I'm doing a custom data list. Snap-on really needs a keyword search for this, because this is the entire data list and it's huge. Everything's in alphabetical order here, so it should be under S for swirl valve. Swirl valve actuator position 2 and 1, and then the variable swirl valve swirl actuator command. List view. So I'm going to try to command it. Let's see the two position. Right now they don't agree. One's at 92% and the other one's at 35%, which doesn't make logical sense. So swirl valve position sensor 2 is not moving at all. Negative retest cannot request out of range. Okay, let's try that again. Variable swirl actuator. Now I'll probably have to build that custom list again. Oh boy. Deselect everything. This time I won't go more than 100%. But I seen the swirl valve actuator on number 2 didn't change state. So is it physically broken, or is it a sensor problem? List view. Position 1, position 2, so it's duty cycled at 57%. I don't know which one is 1 and which one is 2. You would think this is bank 1 and this is bank 2, but I'm not sure. Well, I had to look under the engine cover and everything's pretty congested in there, so I'm going to do is a little bit of research. So when I stand in front of the truck and do this, you can see the position sensor under this noise deadener on the right bank. And when I change the status, I can hear the actuator moving. Yeah, I can request out of range. Well, I said I got to do some research. So I found some cases on a P2D2D for cold start intake manifold runner performance, bank 1 active in the PCM. Bank 1 is 2D and bank 2 is 2E. I don't know why that one doesn't come up. Turns out these things have problems with carbon deposits in the intake manifold runners, and it causes the intake manifold runners to stick. You can see this, there's 12 cases of replacing the intake manifold. I did some more research and I found a YouTuber that has that's obviously a Chrysler mechanic. You see the Mopar, and he's talking about the intake manifold having to be replaced for this. I'll just show you a brief clip and I'll put a link in the description. You can see the intake manifold is serviced as a kit.
Now this is the new one. So it comes with the swirl valves, comes with the map sensor.
Considerable labor to do this job.
Or the air valve for the EGR tube. It comes with the gaskets. So it's basically complete. You just need to put the wire harness in there before you install it. So you're going to take the wire harness.
Note the carbon deposits on these ports.
Go here and throw it on the new one. You can see how easy it is for these butterflies to seize up.
And intake cleaning is another walnut shell blasting.
Gunk. Thanks to our wonderful emissions system. So it's the...
There was another shot of the intake ports on this in this video that were carboned up on this, and in order to clean that you'd have to use walnut shell blasting. Now this is a considerable amount of work involved in doing this. I'm going to have to discuss this with the customer. The intake manifold assembly from the dealer here is $546 retail, and it comes with most of the gaskets that you need apparently. I couldn't find any TSBs on it or bulletins or policy adjustments on this thing, and this thing's got over 200K on it, so I'm going to discuss the repair with the customer.